Hey, how's it going, guys? As you can see, if you looked at my channel, I posted a Minecraft video recently, and it's just I've had that footage for a while, so it's just on my hard drive, and we haven't actually played the server in a while. But I just posted that. I'm starting to get to editing that footage that I've had for a while, and I'm gonna start hopefully finishing up that series day by day. But this video is not, about that. This video is about some Minecraft Redstone I've been doing. So I'm back in Minecraft. I'm doing a lot of Unreal right now, which is why I haven't posted anything, or yeah, in a while. It's been like 3 weeks or whatever. But I'm doing a lot of Unreal Engine and not a whole lot of Minecraft. But I started a Minecraft project, so I'm gonna definitely finish it by the end of the summer, sometime, hopefully somewhat soon. Um, and I'm going to talk about that. What I've been doing on Minecraft in the present. Remember, all the videos for the series, for the server series, are in the past. That's all footage that's just stored on my hard drive, and I'm trying to go through it and edit it and post it. But it's all been done like months ago, so none of it's happening right now. What is happening right now is the stream and the Minecraft project that I'm working on. So as you guys could see, if you don't know Sethbling, that guy put out a video a little while back about his basically his infinite storage system using minecarts and being able to throw in tags and order in minecarts and all these things. And that came out about 3, 4 months ago. And when that came out, I basically said I'm doing other things and I'm not going to tackle this project. I'm sure plenty of other redstone prodigies will go after it, finish the project, make a great design, and have tutorials. I'm sure everybody else will do it, right? I don't have to do it. But evidently, I got back into Minecraft. I was looking at things to do, and I remembered that this was set out by Sethbling as the little challenge to make one of these, and and I looked it up. I went to YouTube. I was like, did somebody do this already? And when I say that, I mean, did somebody do this perfect already, right? If somebody's already done a really good design of this, and it's great and it's perfect and everything's awesome, there's no reason for me to build my own. There's no reason for me to waste time building a design that's worse or just as good if they've already, accomplished, the near perfection, right? Um, but when I went on YouTube and I started just looking it up, here I can even do that right now. Minecraft Infinite. Do they have it? Infinite storage, I guess. Storage. Minecart storage, I guess. Minecart. How would I preface this? Anyway, but just going through all these, you can see that I've watched some of them and such. But I didn't find anyone that impressed me. And I'm looking at Sethbling, the Sethbling designs, right, off the minecart storage system, right, and I did not find anything that impressed me. Um, well, that's not true, but to the extent of what I was hoping to find, which is somebody who's just, done what I would have done, which is reached near perfection already and just, finalized it, finished it off, done. I didn't find that. So that means I have mentally given myself a challenge that I need to tackle this and make it happen. So as you can see, I have been doing it. So after I built Sethblings in order to understand the systems more adequately, um, this is the main system. It's actually, so this is Sethbling's design. His a little bit revised design, but it's his design, right? And it's the minecart storage. What it consists of is just this. It's actually very simple. So it's just you just have a little temp storage here with all the carts that have been searched, and then you push them into a slime block, which basically will just throw them out one by one, and allowing them to be searched one by one, and then they just go right back to temp storage. And the same thing, and it just does that all the time, every one after another, right? I made that pretty slow, but I was testing something. Here's the actual speed. but Anyway, so this is the entirety of the main function of these minecart storage systems. And I'll talk about this in just a sec. But obviously, I had some ideas of my own quite immediately. Because I want to talk about real quick the other people on YouTube, right, that I saw. And what I did see, right? So I didn't see this near perfect state of a system with a tutorial or a world download or anything. When you go to YouTube and you search up these minecart Sethbling, revised versions of his machine and his designs and such, you don't get a whole lot of anything useful, right? Basically, people have one idea or they have two ideas and they rebuild the system in that image, and it's not very practical or efficient, and the ideas are sort of, few and far between as far as it being one thing that's changed or maybe two things that's changed, right? And then the UI is, well, it's either the same as this is pretty bad, and or it's been slightly changed, and it's not necessarily in some of the better designs I've seen, as far as UI based, isn't really like great. And once again, in practicality or efficiency, it just looks, it looks cool, right? It's a very beautiful room where you're standing in this, sort of area where there's stuff to your left, stuff in front of you, and stuff to your right. And you know me, I'm all about panels, UI panels, and you don't have to look in multiple directions like Nick Fury and Iron Man being like, that's just tiring. I agree. Don't look in multiple directions. I want it all in front of me in one area. As you know, guys, I'm really good at design. It's why finished version of the potion machine is super cool. I love that thing. It went through like 5 iterations. But that's important, iteration to eventually reach near perfection. And yeah, so all these guys have some interesting little, I guess, takes on Sethbling storage, and I'm gonna go over, I think, 3 ideas. So one of the ideas, so you see Sethbling storage, right? You throw in your granite blocks. Takes a sec. And then I get my granite blocks, right? And then you could just press this button and you send it back. So one of the main things people started going on is this whole, let me grab this so I can better display it for you guys. I always forget that. But this is one of the things I saw somebody do. Actually, all of these designs were before I saw anybody, and then I looked at other people's stuff after I had my own ideas. But somebody did something like this, where you stack multiple carts, so you can have multiple carts being viewed on display at once, which is obviously better than just being able to see one cart. Another guy did a basically multiple tag search, where you can throw in multiple tags, and then it'll bring the carts out, and then it will go into this vertical stack of carts. And a lot of the good ones do multiple searches, the ones that I thought were better. And then somebody did another design where you didn't actually have to fill the carts completely, because how the system works is that you need to have the carts filled up completely, as you can see, in order for it to accurately search and auto sort when you send items into your system, right? And somebody did a design where you actually didn't have to fill up the carts completely. Those were the 3 main things I saw, which is, more carts on display, multiple tags being searched, and not being able to fill up the carts completely, or not having to fill up the carts completely. Those are the main 3 ideas I saw from going through my YouTube research and looking at other people's ideas on what their takes on this design and their little thoughts. First and foremost, I'm going to go through each idea and just some brief thoughts on them. The first one was having multiple carts. It's a great idea because I thought of it as well. The second, I was like, well, you can only get one cart. You can only view one cart. That's awful. So this was my immediate first design, is 15 by 3 carts. I was like, I want an entire panel of my storage on display, right? Because everybody, Sethbling was just one cart, and I was like, I hate that. I want an entire. I want to be able to view all of my storage. Was sort of the idea I was going with. So I did a 15 by 3. I didn't see anybody else have this kind of crazy, ambitious bullcrap, but I'm gonna pull it off because I want to. I think having all your storage right in front of you, or at least it's not all of it, but it's the thought. You know, it's a lot. It's a lot of what you're looking at. You can access and view and use right then and there, and then you can move on to another big bunch, right? So it's very easy to make it happen. FYI, once again, I thought of these three first little designs first, and then I went to the YouTube, and I looked up some other ideas because I wanted to see if anybody's iterated in a good way, which a little bit. So yeah, immediately the first having more carts on display was my first my first immediate thought, and so I definitely agree with that as a design standpoint. And everybody else apparently on YouTube also prefers to have more carts on display, or at least the ones I liked, the good ones, the better ones than some of the rest. Had more carts on display. So I agree that that is the way to go with this. The second thing is multiple item search. Also, totally agree. I mean, that's the only way you're going to have multiple carts on display. It's a necessity. So, that is this thing. The way you do multiple item search is the way Sethblings works is you basically throw in one item, and then that'll get searched or thrown into a chest with that item, and then that's how it knows that that chest has that item, right? And then it just removes it. You can only do that with one thing, though, right? Because, well, in his version you can. Technically, you could do you could still have items just being dropped into the chests and then have the thing get removed, but I'm not quite sure how you would do that. Anyway. But the way you do multiple item search instead of just one item is you do a hopper sort, which is basically, your regular hopper sorting, except it has a bunch of inputs and outputs in order to, as you can see, hopper input, hopper output. You have the track in order to get the item into the hopper. You have the track to get the item from the hopper back into the cart and back into the storage. You have basically your hopper sorting redstone right here that you have to have here. You have to have an output redstone signal at the bottom in order to tell that the thing has been, that there actually is a chest that has the item in it, right? So, as you could tell, there's a lot of inputs and outputs with this one function of being able to have multiple chests being sorted or, I guess, found in your search, right? And then this function of actually, pulling out the chests from your storage and putting them back into your storage. So combining these two functions and the insane quantities of inputs and outputs, as you guys can tell, is a very rough task, to say the least. Which is what I'm going to talk about over there, which is why that looks like a disaster. The third idea, only one guy did this idea, was to have chests that you didn't have to fill up completely. Now, man, I am really tired of talking. What that means, I don't have to fill up a chest completely, right? Well, I had a very good feeling, or a very good, why is there so much crap in here? I had I had an idea of how he pulled that off, and luckily, this one guy, I looked through so many videos, mind you guys, checking out different things that people did, their little iterations, their little ideas, but this was the only guy who actually put in a world download. Nobody else had a world download. Nobody else had a tutorial. Nobody else basically explained how the thing worked nearly at all. Nearly at all. Some of them did a little bit, but it basically didn't help at all. This one guy who did his design with not having to fill up the chest completely, but he did his own machine, was the only dude who put in a world download, and I appreciate that because every other video I saw where people put in their own ideas and built their own machines didn't do a tutorial, they never did a world download, and they barely explained the thing at all. So basically, I hate everyone, and that's the conclusion with this. Except the one guy who put in a world download, which is minimum effort, and I appreciate that. Because once again, he at least did the bare minimum of what I would consider, benefiting this community at all. It's like those. It's like a YouTube tutorial or whatever, where they're like, all right, now we're going to show you how to do this. And then they just do it, and it's like, okay, see you later. And it basically nonsensical, and it's not helpful at all. They're just showing off their own freaking final design, and then just leave you to be miserable as they live in happiness with their design, which frustrates me. Even though I could do it myself, and I am doing it myself, but for all those who can't, that's pretty AIDS, and I don't appreciate that. um, I'm trying to look him up real quick to see if I can show you guys who he was, because I want to say that I appreciate this man. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find him. I'm going to give it one more shot. Sethbling, a ding 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 dong. Alright, we'll see if he's here. There he is. This was the guy who had who his main idea, everything else is nearly the same, right? But his main idea was minecarts that didn't have to be completely filled, right? As we can see, if we just ding 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 dong. Oh, there we go. See, you could pull up minecarts that weren't completely full, as you could see. Anyway, this guy, I appreciate him. He put in world download. As you can see, every other guy did not do it, and it frustrates me. Nobody else did a tutorial, explained it. Anyway, we're done here. Obviously, he has the vertical stack, because every good one has a vertical stack, and he and one other person were considered good ones, in my opinion. But once again, the other person that did it, this is the other person that did it. But also, once again, no tutorial, no world download, barely explains the thing at all. He explains it a little bit, okay, I'll give him that, but it's very unhelpful, right? I had to watch it 3 times to realize, oh, he's using the hopper sorting because it was so difficult to understand what's going on. So anyway, yeah, everybody's like, "Hey, can you do something?" No, nothing, no tutorials, no. So anyway, basically nobody was helpful. They just made their own designs and left everybody to themselves. Very, very unhelpful. Anyway, I'm rambling about that, but it's very frustrating to me. It's like, if you're gonna build it, put in the effort to at least share it, because you're basically just teasing people if you're just gonna say, "Oh, I made this cool thing. None of you guys can ever use it, suckers." I don't know. That just pisses me off. It pisses everybody off too. Who's like in the comments, like, "Please, world download." Anyway. The problem. So I'm talking about the system idea where you don't have to fill up the chest completely. The problem with that, one word, 2 words actually, because I'm trying to simplify this. I'm taking too long. Auto sorting. Auto sorting. Do you want your storage to be able to auto sort for you? If I get back from a mining trip and I want to just crap out items into my storage and have them get auto sorted, doesn't that sound good? Well, I agree. First and foremost. Second of all, yeah, this guy, the dude who once again whom I like for putting the world download, and the system of having your chests not being 100% full. For example, right? The reason why you can't do this is because you can't auto sort. So if you look at his system, and I was able to look at it with the world download, thank you to him, you realize he doesn't have auto sorting. And that's, I knew it. I was like, I swear this is how he's going to make that work. And yeah, that was exactly how he did make it work. He just got rid of being able to auto sort, which is basically just throw things in and having it auto sort, right? So he got rid of that option, and then you could basically just throw whatever you want in the chests, and it didn't have to be completely full. Once again, all I'm going to say is I'm not going to do that. I could do a system where you didn't have to fill up the chest completely, but that would mean I would have to get rid of auto sorting. So it's an interesting, there's a lot of pros and cons to actually auto sorting, and then the other thing, which is just not being able to fill up a chest to its brim, not having to fill up a chest fully. There's a lot of pros and cons to both of them, but I think auto sorting wins out on what's more important and what's more useful. So I'm not gonna pursue the idea of not filling up your chest completely, because it's one or the other. You either can have auto sorting where you don't have to fill up your chests completely. And I think auto sorting is just way more valuable. And yeah, it's just gonna save you way more time. Oh man, I'm freaking tired as balls. Just been talking a lot, man. All right. So anyway, now that I've talked about some of the other stuff, a lot of the third party stuff, everything other than myself, time to talk about me. All right. Everything revolves around me. So let's talk about that. So this is one of my first designs. Obviously, I was like, I want a display like my potion machine. I want a very good. Obviously, I'm a UI guy. I'm a design guy. So you guys know that. I know that. I'm gonna make this UI and design, the user experience, absolutely awesome, the best I possibly can, and it's gonna go through different iterations inevitably. But that is my main goal, is the user experience. So my first thoughts were, I want to display as much storage as possible, right? Make it as easy for you to just locate and use whatever you want. So then you could do whatever you want, right? So obviously I had multiple. This was my first thing. So 15 by 3. That really was my first design. And then I thought of something maybe a little bit more humble, with a 5 by 1. And then also something a little bit more humble, just a little smaller. 3 high, 4 by 4. But humility is not. We don't give a crap about humility. So this was my. These were my, these are like prototype type. I just want to see what it looks like and see how I feel, standing in front of something like this, right? But I did go with that design of the 3 by 5. Lots of storage right in front of you, right at your fingertips. So this was my second, well, it's a pretty big iteration jump, but yeah, so this was my next, I guess my fourth iteration, because I started with that, and then I went that, and then I went that. Anyway, this was basically one of the main iterations of the UI panel right here. Is this, as you can see. So basically we have the 50 main carts. The reason why we have trapdoors, I lose the trapdoors eventually over there, as you can see, but the reason why trapdoors are here is because even on all these original things, I had the basically the the rail coming in at the highest cart here. And if you wanted to access the highest cart, you couldn't have a block, in front of it, right? So I just had a trapdoor, which would stop it from moving, and then it would retract, and you could access it, right? I realized that was pretty dang stupid, over there, but that's just why the trapdoors are there. So they were supposed to block the carts and then open up. But regardless, and then you have basically this stuff over here. You have your cart storage, to add more storage and more stuff to your storage. And yeah, so you just press the button, it goes out, and then it replaces. Pretty simple little section there. You have next carts, which will basically bring all these guys down, and then you have a next tag in queue. So I need to explain, because basically there's so many ways to do the system. It's a big system. It's actually. Yeah, there's a lot of different ways I could go about doing this for every single aspect of this, right? The carts, how they come in, how they're animated. There's a lot of different ways I could animate these carts coming in and how they go out, how I need to use them, where these things are all, what all the functions of this thing are, right? Because there's a lot of different things. There's a lot. And so I'm going through so many different versions in my mind of how to make this thing and how it should function, right? When I was making this UI panel, I thought I would do, basically you throw as many tags as you want in, and then it just searches them all, and it starts storing all the, how do I say it? Basically, you throw one tag in, and then all the carts that get found are brought to the main storage, right? And then when you press next carts, it'll remove all of the carts here, and then it will continue with that same search and pull in more carts from the same search. If you wanted to move on to your next queue, or the next thing that you queued up in your search, you just press this, and it'll remove all the carts from that search, and then it'll move on to another search, right, and then start bringing in more carts. So you'd have multiple things in your queue, multiple tags, and if you wanted to move on to your next tag, you click that, and if you wanted to just move on to the next carts in the same tag, you just hit here. And then system reset, just resets everything, gets it ready for, I don't know, maybe another use or whatever. But that's how this original idea for the system and how it was going to function would work. So you could throw as many tags in, and then you could just move through different tags in your queue, or you just move through the carts in the same tag, right? That's how this system would work. That is not how I'm doing it right now. I changed the system again, right? So I don't even have it finalized, guys. And I'm making it right now. I don't even have it finalized. So the way it functions may still change. Well, it's guaranteed to change. Because I don't have a finalized idea. I really don't. So, now we make it. Now we make it to the present of what's going on right now. I've talked about everything else. Now we're in the present. I'm trying to build one of these. As you can see, the UI is a little different. I have an anvil for naming stuff. There's no system reset because it's basically unnecessary, because every single time a search is done, the system is basically resetted. So there's no point in having a system reset. I realized item sorting here. I realized that I didn't even have a place for the item sorting on this UI design. So that was pretty stupid. So I got the item sorting in there. Next carts are just to move on to the next carts in your queue, and then obviously the same kind of storage. And then all your tag storage, obviously. Yeah, that's the UI here. I'm getting so tired, guys. I'm probably going to have to end this soon because my voice is dying. I was singing recently, just some songs, so that also drains your voices. Anybody who sings knows. Your voice box gets jacked after a while. Gotta let that thing, gotta let that muscle chill out. But, yeah, so what's going on with this machine right now? Basically, this is the first iteration, so it's insanely abstract. It's not practical, and it's not efficient in any way, shape, or form, right? I'm doing what I can in order to get these systems to work together and to get everything in order, right? But it's going to be the first iteration. I'm going to get it to function. I'm going to get it to function the way I think it should work, that one of these machines. And, yeah, I'm going to make it happen. But it's going to be a gigantic ball of bullcrap. Just so you guys know. Oh man, I hate it. I really do. I've had a lot of problems with this system because there's actually so many different things you need to think about and different functions that occur during this thing. Once again, the animation of the minecarts is insanely difficult for me to pull off the way I think it should be pulled off. And then the way I think it should be pulled off is also constantly changing. So really, it's just been a gigantic disaster. And getting all the inputs and outputs, once again, for these two functions of the searching here, the search and storage, and then the actual searching through each minecart with the hopper thing, the functions and the inputs and outputs and all that, it's a disaster, guys. It's been so hard, and it's pissing me off to a degree which I can't elaborate, but I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to see what I can do. Obviously, you can see these things on the side here. It's not entirely flesh. Once again, when a reiteration comes out, I'm no doubt going to make it a complete flesh thing. As you can see, you can already remove these. That doesn't matter. You can remove these. Basically, doesn't matter either. The hoppers could easily be moved, and same with these hoppers here, right? Which are going to sort well, they're not going to sort. They're just going to throw your tags back into your chest. These could all easily be removed. It would not be that difficult to make this flesh with the wall. But at the moment, and for the first iteration, it's not going to be. So, sorry. It's going to be one block sort of interrupting. But that's okay. That's not that bad. It really isn't. But as you guys know, with my potion machine, I like things flesh. I like things very, very nice. Very nice. So anyway, yeah, as I've already voiced my frustration with that. I could go into my designs and and how I've been thinking about it and how I think it should be done right now, and probably it's a disaster. All in all simplicity. So I'm not going to go into that. Um, but yeah. Hope I can get this done somewhat soon, though. But yeah, I didn't even have a renaming. I didn't even have a tag making thing here or a item sort chest, which is so stupid. How did I miss that? But anyway, there's just once again, there's so many different functions. It's hard to think of everything and all the variables at once. But yeah, pretty cool. Yeah, I wanted to make it flush with the wall. Anyway, guys, you can basically head out now. I think I'm more or less done. I'm just gonna ramble on a little bit longer. I wanted to make it flush with the wall because, and I wanted to make the UI great. Once again, I'm a UI guy, right? Everybody else, you know, all these programmers can make a program, and they are efficient machines, and they can program and write scripts, but they are absolutely garbage at design. And anybody who uses programs on computers built by other people will understand that there's a lot of really crappy design out there, you know. So I'm a big design guy. And man, I love this. This was the final iteration of the potion machine. So compact, so nice. Absolutely beautiful. And the UI is just fantastic. I love it so much. It's gone through so many iterations, so it's finally basically in a perfect state. And I can't express how cool it is to have something basically perfect. Just in UI in general, it's like one thing to function and the redstone and all that, but the UI being so nice. It's very, very satisfying. Remember this very, very cool iteration, because I'm about to show you guys its first form ever. For anybody who's curious or interested, right? So that's a very nice looking thing. Here is its first iteration. Let's check it out. The UI, like all the pictures and the item frames and all that, are all gone. I don't know what happened. I think the world may have gotten jacked up at some point. This is a really janky other redstone world. Just has some random crap that wasn't in the other one. But as you can see, none of the UI is here, which is a bummer. But you get the gist of what's going on, you know, the signs and all that. But look at how big this panel is compared to the one that you guys just saw, right? I mean, it's massive, massive panel. You know, and all the stuff is so spread out. You know. Also, look, the sign is here. So I think the other stuff may be here. See, the signs are here. You can see them. It's so weird. Anyway, but look at how big this thing is. I mean, it's gigantic compared to the smaller final iteration, and yeah. And then look in the back. Look at how big and clunky this thing is compared to the final iteration you guys just saw. I mean, it's huge. It's got so many repeaters. This is what people don't remember. The repeaters. Oh, man. I didn't know what to do originally, so I just put repeaters. Oh, jeez. A disaster. No doubt. Not actually a disaster. It was just pretty bad. The thing, the sorting machine is a disaster. This thing is just, it was pretty bad. But it worked. It all functioned. Oh, man. I mean, it's so big. Oh, man. And all this stuff. Crazy, crazy, crazy. And then you go back to the original. Or, sorry, the final design. And it's just so small, so nice, so compact. Everything's put into its place. Oh, it's lovely. So satisfying to see that. Man, it was the work of like months. Not really months of working, but just months in general. Just leaving the project and not thinking about it at all, and coming back to realize you can do some more work. Anyway. Alright. I'm done. It was mostly about the sorting system. I'm just reminiscing about this really good potion machine. Yeah, it's kind of saddening to me. Nobody knows about me and this potion machine, right? But it's a really good potion machine. I think it is probably the best in the world right now. There's a there was a design. Remember, I before I made this potion machine, and even my first, my first design of this, but decided its panel and such. I had multiple different ideas for the function of a potion machine, the best one in the world, right? Um, and as you guys all know, there's tons of different potion machines out there. And yes, I looked through like tons of them, trying to think what's the best way for you to do these potions. And one of the main things you look at when you look up potion machines is that one potion machine where everything's behind glass, and basically everything's just getting pre-made, and then you press a button and it instantly gives you a set, and then you can just use it, and then it'll just build another set for you behind the glass. I don't remember whose potion machine that one is, but it's widely considered the best survival potion machine. But the problem with it is that there's no customizing your potions, absolutely no customizing your potions, and there's absolutely no interaction between the player and the ingredients into your potions, and like the actual storage of the ingredients, right? And I was like, that's just too much downside for me to consider that to be the best potion machine. It's just too much downside. Not being able to interact with your storage of your ingredients at all, and not being able to customize your potions to any degree at all. You basically build it and then it's set. I was like, no, that's a big no. I'm all about having the user have all the power they can possibly get. So being able to customize and interact with your storage was a must. You can't take that away. And obviously, there you go, right? You can choose any potion you want. You can choose any of the settings that a potion can get you want. And you can interact with your storage as much as you want. You just throw it all in. And then you can just make them. Yeah. I do think this is probably the best in the world. Nobody knows about it though, right? Because I'm just a rando. But it probably is. I haven't seen anything that bests this, really. And I'm honest. I don't care for my own work, which is why, well, I do care about it a lot if it's good work. But I'm more of a seeker of truth and perfection than somebody who gives a crap about me being the one to achieve that. It's like I don't care who achieves it. I care if it's achieved. So that's why I'm doing the storage system. Nobody achieved that yet. So now I feel like it's my responsibility to make that happen. But same with the potion machines, right? I don't feel like anybody strictly achieved what I feel like could be achieved. So I decided to take months and lots of iterations and different versions, and finally we're at finally I got this, which is probably the world's best potion machine. It does not take much. I mean, it's very compact compared to what it used to be. It could probably be even more compact, though, if somebody wants to really do that, but I don't know. This is really good as is. And yeah, it's seriously impressive. Once again, the functionality is all kept as well, right? You can do everything you can do with a potion this machine allows you to do. So, yeah. It's a little bit interesting though, right? Hypothetically, this is the best in the world and nobody will ever know, nobody will ever see. But whatever. That's okay, I guess. But yeah. Damn good system though. But it is flush. It's flush with the wall, right? Obviously you have your ceiling at 4 blocks probably. Though it depends on whatever you want, but it's flush with the wall. Which is what the other one's gonna have to eventually be, the sorting I'm working with. The UI with the sorting looks a little iffy. I mean, this looks beautiful just because of the images and the signs and all. I think it's really, really well put together. It's a very good UI. Very good UI. I'm gonna have to do something. Gonna have to do something with that storage system. Oh, because that UI has been a little jankety for a while now. Alright. I think we're good. Thank you guys for watching. I'll keep on working on that storage system. Obviously, I'll make a video when it's done. And until then, I'll probably put out some more MC Survival server videos up until that point. So anyway, all right. See you guys later. Peace.